freedom of expression, we have it in Rwanda and we don't have it.
The freedom is just fair. You cannot say anything that you want, but no one stops you to say anything.
There is no any law which says that you shouldn't express yourself. It's not written anywhere. But again, it's the rule of the house that you don't do it. It comes again to the very essence of the absence of the law. And because of this, the background of being politically correct and also the background of conflict. So when any country comes from conflict, you need to say what the victors want to hear.
In countries like Kenya, Uganda, you find people, they are free to say what they want, what they think. But here in Rwanda, you find people, they still have that thing of, they have fear. They don't talk, they don't say anything they want. There's no freedom of expression.
But my position has always been that it is work in progress. It largely reflects the state of the country in general. You don't isolate it from other fundamental rights like the right of organization, the right of political assembly, the right of holding different opinions. So the extent to which historically most of those political rights and civil rights were denied, the freedom of expression also was affected.
There's been a passage of a media law allowing media self-regulation, which is a positive thing. The passage of a law allowing Media High Council to remain with a big role on media development. And also the passage of the Access to Information Law and a repeal of certain sections of the Penal Code, meaning that the legal framework that guarantees or regulates freedom of expression has to a large extent been improved, but it still has its own challenges.
Uburyo imiterere y'abanyarwanda ko bateye batavuga cyane nko ugereranije n'ibindi bihugu aho nabashije kuye cyangwa nabashije kubona abaturage baho bavuga gake cyane ugereranije n'ahandi.
Actually, the involvement of the media in genocide was not involvement of the media. It was involvement of some media organs, but some politicians and propagandists use the word that because Rwanda, media in Rwanda got involved in itself in genocide, so the people and the country is very cautious about the freedom of the press and the freedom of opinion, which is of course stupid because it's not the whole media. It was RTM and the Rwanda Radio and TV, which was from our M4, including also the army of Rwanda by then also was involved in genocide, and the police. But again, it's not the media that needs to carry the history, that black history of the people.
When it comes to sensitive issues, political issues, when you meet citizens, people, local people, even leaders, it's very difficult. People don't feel free to express themselves. Rights, it's one thing, and enjoying your rights, it's another thing. So for the citizens, there is a culture, first of all, of where people in Rwanda hide things inside themselves, and two, it's the dictatorship. Looking at how the country was led from 60s until genocide, even after genocide, I would say that people were expressing themselves when it comes to political issues, even social issues. So I will attribute that to the leadership mainly, not self-censorship as such, because there are some people who, when you talk with them, they will say the leader so and so will not be happy. It does happen here in the country.
Muri iki gihe ubona ko hari ikigenda gihinduka kubera amategeko agenda akorwa inzego z'ubuyobozi zigenda zishyirwaho nka Rwanda Media Commission. Abanyamakuru barandika, ku maradiyo baravuga, ugasanga n'ugize ikibazo urwo rwego rugerageza kumufasha. Bitandukanye n'uko mbere byari bimeze, aho buri muntu wese yafataga icyemezo, yakumva umunyamakuru agize icyo avuga.
But in terms of practice, I think there is still a big challenge because the country is developing a single story, a single narrative, which in itself puts a lot of tension on individual journalists because where they think they are going against that narrative, there is a lot of self-censorship. But there is also what I'll call government interference in ensuring that the editorial line taken by media houses is only one. So we have situations where we've seen papers like the Chronicles folding up because either they were taking an editorial position that was not perhaps the one that would be approved by public officials. We've had cases, for instance, the arrest of Mr. Bideri, who was then the editor at the Times. We've had those cases of the two ladies, Agnes and Saidet, who wrote stories that were thought to be offending the genocide ideology law and defaming the president. So that's a big challenge that we need to be able to lessen those challenges, legal challenges. We need to be able to lessen government interference with the editorial lines. We also need to be able to lessen proprietors' interference with the editorial line, that those people who are investing in media tend to want to say what the media should tell the country, beyond what would be legitimate restrictions on freedom of expression.
The issues to do with attacks to the journalists and the lack of freedom of the press and the freedom of expression, or it comes to the issue of political structure, how the country is structured politically. Wherever you want to think about freedom of expression and freedom of the media, don't just take it as a standalone. You need to measure the whole political structure in terms of, does the country have opposition? Does the country accept the diversity of opinions? Is the current government tolerant to different opinions, which is actually opposing and proposing, and also affirmative to the extent that we are here as the government, we accept this and this and this and this, and here we don't say it. So the issue is about the freedom of the press and also the issue to do with the freedom of expression, and even the issue to do with the attacking journalists. Yes, in the law it is written that they have done their law says no journalist can be attacked, of course,